Hey guys, welcome in. It's the Sportscast here on Tuesday night with the hosts Brian and Craig. Craig, my man, how you been, brother?
Howdy, sir.
All right, we had a pretty interesting week 11. I'm off a week here. Week 11. Apologize for not getting an episode out to you guys last week, but we're just busy with life events. So, hope you guys had a good weekend. This week's been rough at work for me, but let's get into this week 11, Craig. And we had some good games going on. This weekend we had, I think the number one game I was watching, other than the Packers game, obviously, was the Rams in Seattle. Two teams fighting for the division, and if Sam Darnold doesn't pee down his leg and throw 4 interceptions, they might win this football game. That's been M2Y1 slacking. Yeah, we've been slacking. You are right, sir. You are right. Thanks for joining us, M2Y1s. Appreciate that, sir. This is the game though I was looking forward to watch this last weekend. Seattle and the Rams. We talked about it. We talked about it before, Craig, that Minnesota kind of regrets letting Darnold go, but he's been known in big games and known in playoffs to kind of pee on his leg, and he didn't do so well this game.
Kirk Cousins syndrome.
Yeah. And they almost win it. I mean, you settle for a 61-yard field goal there at the end. It wasn't even close, but the Rams, I mean, they were Puka Nacua fumble. They had some issues of their own, but this is a divisional game. That's going to be, hard. Those divisional games are hard to win, and these are two of the best teams in football right now, record-wise, going at it. And I think the Rams might be the best team in football right now. Stafford's playing really well. We thought he might have started off season injured. Now he's lighting up the stats.
Yeah,
so
I don't think I would disagree with you there.
So they're looking really good right now. And Seattle, I mean, we talked about it in the offseason. I didn't think much of Seattle. You didn't think much of Seattle. And here they are. So, what's his name? Njigba, the wide receiver.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's having a
career year
season,
there. Yeah. I know Jeff was looking forward to this one. The Chiefs and Broncos. The Broncos have been playing really well. They're 9-2. They go out, they handle business against the Chiefs. This is a back and forth game, and I think this is one. We'll have to ask Jeff on Friday that he's scheduled on his calendar. Like, this is the game I'm wanting to see if we're going to win, because this is the game they haven't won in a couple years, and they finally get it. And I talked about last time we were on, Craig, about maybe the Broncos are a little bit fraudulent because the teams they've been playing aren't very good. And then this is the one I go, okay, I want to see how they do. And they get the job done. They get the job done, and they win this game. This is a big win for Denver, and I think all Denver Bronco fans are had this one circled to watch and see how they ponied up against the Chiefs.
Something is missing, and I can't put my finger on it offensively from Kansas City. I don't know what it is. At first it was health. You lose, some of your wide receivers to suspension, and, then you have the wide receiver who separates his shoulder on the opening play of opening night. And so, but they finally got some of those guys back, and they looked like they were kind of rolling a little bit, but they just can't. They're just not moving the ball.
Well, yeah.
The way that Kansas City is known to move the football. They really don't have a number one running back. They're using kind of a patchwork system, behind Mahomes. Kareem Hunt has done okay, but more of a goal line situation, not any big chunk yardage plays. Mahomes has really good games, and then he turns around and has a couple clunkers, and so I don't know if they put it together going down the stretch and kind of recover and can, I'll tell you what, it's not a team, if they do somehow right the ship, it's not a team you want to see get hot at the end of the season and backdoor their way into the playoffs and ruin some seasons, because it might happen if they get hot and come in. If they can put some wins together, you know, we'll see. I just don't know.
Jennifer says it was a good game. Yeah, it was really good. Thanks for joining us, Jennifer, and getting involved in the show. You're right, Craig. There is something missing. We thought, when they got the wide receivers back healthy and from suspension, okay, they scored more points, but credit to Denver defense. They are sacking quarterbacks and getting pressure on the quarterback at a historical rate, and that really, really flustered Mahomes back there. He wasn't able to get comfortable. I think when you look at the Chiefs, a lot of their guys they rely on are getting older. Their tight end is getting older. Their best pass rusher in Jones is getting older. So where that the team's a little slower and they're not as good. Their offensive line, excuse me. Sorry. Their offensive line is not as good as it was. And so but credit to this Denver defense and every year we say it. Chiefs ain't looking all that great, and the next thing you know, they're in the Super Bowl. But they've got a hill to climb now with in their division. I mean, they're what? They are second to last. They're third place right now, 5-5. They've got a hill to climb to make a playoffs right now. And
it helps that the Chargers are falling apart. It helps,
yeah.
And they have another game head-to-head against Denver. The Raiders are terrible.
Well, yeah,
I know trash. They have the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. I don't think Dallas has done enough to be able to compete with the Kansas City, even though Kansas City's kind of, off their game. I still don't think that Dallas would have enough to things. So, you get a win there, and we'll see. I just can never, as long as Mahomes is the quarterback, I can never count this team out.
Yeah, and when you have a quarterback like that, it's not smart to count him out, and he gives you a chance every single game, every single year. And moving on, the Chargers get dog walked by the freaking Jags. I don't know what happened there. Just terrible. 6 points.
They end up benching. Their starting quarterback and the offensive line. Obviously,
Herbert.
They obviously had some, and I don't know if that was from a performance standpoint or if it was from we're trying to protect him because the offensive line is absolutely ravished with injuries and we can't protect our own quarterback right now. So we'll see, what happens with that. But the Chargers seem to do this every year. They start out like a house of fire and then all of a sudden charger it up is what we call it, we'll see.
We have the Dolphins beat the Commanders. The Commanders had, we were talking about them winning the division, and here they are, 3-8, injured quarterback.
Both wide receivers, the quarterback. They really haven't had the running game that we thought they were going to have. They kind of went with the rookie there, and I think you just probably kind of chalk it up to a bad season of injuries and move on and get your draft pick and move on.
The next game here, this was one that everyone circled to watch too, the Bucs and Bills, and I don't know how you are, Craig. When my team's playing, I'm able to do multi-view and have as many games up, 4 games at once if I wanted to. When Packers are playing, I'm just watching Packers. So this game was on at the same time. So commercial, I decided to flip over a little bit. Josh Allen, man, 6 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns in the air, 3 on the ground. Absolute baller performance by him. I mean, Baker had a good game too. They just ran into the buzzsaw Buffalo in Buffalo. Buffalo wins this game 44-32. And the Bucks are losing a little ground. Everyone, when they first started, everyone was all over the Bucks, but they've lost a couple now, and they're 6-4. Still a good record. But
they've had,
people have calmed off
injuries,
on them.
They've Godwin has never come back. They lose Evans, then he comes back for a quarter, and they lose him again. Basically, without Mbuka, they would have nobody.
Yeah.
So
their wide receiver or their running back's been out.
Right, Bucky Irving's out, so they've got a lot of injuries. If they can get some of those guys, if they could just kind of tread water until those guys come back, I think Tampa might be okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I still think they're a dangerous team, and Baker's playing pretty well this season. So they get those guys back. They should dominate, that division and win it pretty easily. We got the Bears
Carolina's coming out of nowhere.
Yeah. I kind of skipped over them, but they don't look as bad as we thought they were. 6-5.
A world where Carolina, the Panthers, and the Chicago Bears have a better record than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Wow.
That I'm. It's a weird season.
Now, and I want to talk all the mad crap about Chicago because I think they're the flukiest team in our division. The teams they've beaten are really bad, and they were losing to a lot of them in the fourth quarter. But the credit I will give them, and maybe this is the Ben Johnson effect, they haven't given up in the fourth quarter. The old Bear teams would be like, we're cursed. Here we go. We're going to lose again. And they just find ways to win. They're finding different ways to win. I hate to say it, the Bears are the first place in our division. Makes me want to vomit. Makes me sick. I don't think they'll stay there that long, but right now they are. So enjoy it. Bears fans, but it's you also played the Vikings. They're not as good as we are who we thought they were. They're not as good as we thought they were. Steelers have an injury scared Aaron Rodgers. He has a fractured wrist in his non-throwing hand. Even with benching him after the injury, they dominate the Bengals 34-12. Looks like the Joe Flacco magic has lost its course over there, and so I'm interested to see if Rodgers plays. Does he cast up that non-throwing hand and play? Does he not? I was hoping.
Mason Rudolph is your other option. So.
Yeah, I'm thinking he will, because of the fact that this is the last season, and It sucks he got injured. Okay, he was playing pretty good. He's looking better than most people expect. If the team's 6-4. I don't want to see him go out injured. Packer legend. But so we'll see. I think he probably casts it up and plays. But I don't know the last time I saw a quarterback with a cast on one arm out there. So
yeah, I don't know if he can hold the football with a cast,
yeah. It'd be tough. 49ers dominate the Cardinals. The Ravens beat the Browns. We get to see Shadur Sanders. He was he was terrible. Couple drops from the wide receivers.
Right.
But 4 of 16 for 47 yards. But I don't know. I'll take that with what you may. You got the Packers beat the Giants, and man, you know what? I want Ryan Sims to come on here. He is texting me at the end of this game. You almost lost to the Giants. I'm like, bro, we won by 7. I don't think that's an almost. We won by 7 on the road. And he's like, you almost lost to a third-string quarterback. I said, bro, you and I know Jameis Winston is not no third-string quarterback. You and I know that Jameis Winston will come off the bench every year and throw for 400 yards in one game of the season. Let's not act like he's a total, absolute third-string Shadur Sanders over here, okay? We played it on the road, a team that just fired their head coach, probably got a little more energy. and we beat them. And Jordan Love's wide receivers decided they weren't going to catch the ball. 8 drops. He still had over 100 quarterback rating with that. Throws an absolute dime in triple coverage to Deshaun Watson, or not Deshaun Watson, but Watson, and we win the game 27-20. And he's like, y'all should be worried. I'm like, bro, you're 3-5-1 as a Cowboy. Worry about yourself, all right? They dominate the Raiders. Well, now when we're having that conversation, you're 3-5. Now you're 4-5-1. You beat the Raiders. They are absolute trash. Your defense looked better with Williams, definitely.
All right, and I think it gets better as the season goes on with Overshawn and Case and played better. You got both safeties back. You know, and like we've said in the past, this defense doesn't need to be top tier. It needs to be middle of the road with that offense you have.
Yeah.
Because that offense is dangerous. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, you have the Chargers who look terrible at times. You have the Vikings still. You have Washington again, and you have the Giants. So there's 4 winnable games. If you catch lightning in a bottle with Philadelphia, who the implosion is coming, sir. The one I've been talking about for a year and a half is coming. The wide receiver is distraught or disgruntled, and he's quitting on routes, and it's coming. The implosion is imminent. It may not happen before the end of the regular season, but it will affect them in the playoffs.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone after the season, but
I don't doubt that. But what I'm saying is the glue, the foundation of holding it. One loss is all it's going to take. Winning cures all, and they've somehow been able to. I really thought the Lions could go in there and handle business.
9 points.
Yes,
that's the thing with this team. And this is why, when we talked about it earlier in the season, this is why they're dangerous. They're not winning on the offensive side of the ball. The offense didn't look very good.
Right.
But they shut down the Packers with 7 points, and then they shut down the Lions.
30, but the Giants put up 30. There's other teams that are. There's ways. There's
ways.
If they were putting zeros up for everybody, I would agree with you. But the Giants put up a bunch. The Cowboys put up a bunch. Dak Prescott will go in there next week and throw for 350 yards. He will.
I don't know about that. Well, you're playing in Philly.
Opening night. No, we're playing here.
Oh, well, that's a different story.
Beat them in Philly.
Different story.
The rain delay disabled the whole game.
No, but I mean, you gotta look.
I understand they didn't have Jalen Carter because Carter spit on somebody, which, according, I guess, in the NFL, is a new thing for people to do. I can't wrap my head around. I can't wrap my head around in a game that where violence is approved, we're choosing to spit on people. But hey, whatever.
No, I mean they shut down the Lions in 9 points. That's impressive.
Right.
That's impressive.
Which I get it. There's something going on in Detroit. Dan Campbell's taken over the play calling. He says it's just so he knows what's going on. I think the offensive coordinator is one step from being removed. I don't know what's going on there.
Lions are they're a good football team.
They're
Jennifer
a great
says
football team when they're clicking.
Yeah. Jennifer says that she hopes the Eagles will lose, and she said go Cowboys, but I'm going to hide that one. No, I have grown more of a disdain for the Eagles this season, talking to their fans online. if they weren't playing the Lions, yeah, Eagles lose all day, but you're playing the Lions, a team in my division. So I was hoping they won, and they did. I just think this defense is pretty damn good. We talked about it in the offseason, and we talked about how they're missing this guy, and this guy's not there no more. And the defense shows up.
They made some trades to make it a little bit better.
Vic Fangio is just an absolute beast of a defense coordinator, man. I mean, he just so. Let's look at Week 12. Let's go ahead and look a little bit at Week 12 here. Thursday night, Bills Texans. I mean, Bills should win that game. Texans are not very good.
Maybe C.J. Stroud comes back from almost dying.
Let's see the games that we're gonna. I mean, you got Rodgers playing the Bears. He owns the Bears, hoping he can play. I don't know. We'll see if he does or not. You got Vikings, Packers. We got 3 divisional games coming up: Vikings, Lions, and Bears. You've got let's see. You've got Colts and Chiefs. Should be a pretty good one.
Well, that's a must.
Eagles, Cowboys.
That's a must wins for the Chiefs.
Yeah. Eagles, Cowboys, Bucks, and Rams. That's the game Sunday night. That's going to be one hell of a football game. And then you got the Panthers and 49ers on Monday. Why do they keep putting bad games on Monday? We had to watch the Cowboys, Raiders, which we all knew the Raiders are terrible. I mean, the Panthers are better than we give them credit for, but I just automatically assume that's going to be a bad game. Broncos, Dolphins, Chargers, and Commanders are all on a bye this coming week. All right. What's some other NFL news, Craig? You've got Josh Jacobs' injury, Green Bay. Without him, man, I mean, we're going to become one-dimensional without him running the football. You take that threat away. It's a knee injury. They said
and with wide receivers dropping footballs.
Up till last Sunday, they were really good.
Better.
They've been better. You drop 8 passes last week. I'm screaming at the TV in my living room. So they've got to play better. But they've got to be better. And maybe this is what we need. Maybe we need to unleash Jordan Love, because I don't think our coach wants to unleash Jordan Love throwing the football. We've got what's the other injury? We got Rodgers. We got. Wasn't there another big player?
I mean, Love left the game for a little while, didn't he?
Yeah, that was I think that was a stinger in his left shoulder. He came back and
so.
And our backup comes in and throws a touchdown, and everyone's like, "He's better than Love." I'm like, "You guys are idiots."
Your problem right now is that you better figure out is the kicking game.
Yes,
because it's going to come down. You're going to have a game that's going to come down to needing a field goal, and that guy's not going to be
well,
there. And that's detrimental.
It's one thing or another with us, whether it's our kicking game or it's usually our special teams. When you get a blocked field goal, you lose a game. Now, we had what's his face from the Texans a long time ago, and he was good last season, and then he got hurt, and we bring in the guy that we got from the XFL or whatever, and he hit everything. And then Fairbairn over here gets healthy, and he starts missing everything. And then he was injured again. We bring this guy in, and the wind was really bad, and they were just kicking the ball. He kicked one ball, and it just fucking just. I was like, oh my god, he couldn't make a freaking extra point. It was that bad. But you're right. Where special teams cost us a lot of games, and let's see. DeMarco Murray has DeMarcado or whatever has an ankle sprain. All right, well, Any other football news, Craig?
Um,
I think we pretty much covered everything. We're going to have a good Thanksgiving games this year. Thank goodness. Getting a little ahead of ourselves. That's week 13, right?
Right.
Green Bay, Detroit, Kansas City, and Dallas, and Cincinnati, and and Baltimore. But that's not going to be as good anymore with the injury to Joe Burrow. So,
he has started practicing on a limited basis, so we'll see.
you think he'll be back? Good news for the Stars. Jamin Ben's back tonight.
Concussion back with a reinflated lung. Yeah, got his lung reinflated, and he's back. Good to go. He has scored goal number 400 about 4 different times, and they're taking it away from him. So maybe tonight will be the official number 400. My guy Robo is on an absolute heater. Paul
makes me sick. Bear down. Hey, man, we got to get on, man. We've got to get on it. You're leading the division right now. It won't last long, don't you worry. But it's the first time in a long time I've said that phrase that the Bears are winning our division at the moment. So enjoy it, Paul. We haven't played you yet, but I'm interested to see what happens when we do. Really interested.
But Robo's on a heater. He's got 6 goals in his last 3 games. Last one was a hat trick. Wyatt Johnston is leading all the entire NHL. He has 11 goals. Power play. He has more power play goals than most teams have. So when they get on the power play, it's not a desolate desert like it was last year. They've won 5 straight. They look really good right now. So they play here in about 30 minutes against the Islanders, and we'll see how that goes. But they can't seem to catch Colorado. Colorado is like 13-1-5. And so the only time they lose is in overtime. They can't lose in regulation. But hockey is starting to heat up. And so I'm looking forward to that. Baseball right after the holidays is when baseball is starting to heat up. There's some moves being made already. But come the winter meetings, you're going to start to see the big names start to move, and so we'll see.
Yeah, Rangers are rumored to be getting trade or get rid of Adolis Garcia and Jonah Heim.
That's wild to me. Garcia, I can kind of understand. Jonah Heim is a little surprise to me because he's a pretty solid backstop, and I don't know who you're going to replace him with.
Yeah. With him, I mean, we went on the World Series run 23. He was lights out. And ever since then, he's been just bad. His bat's been abysmal. And the first year after, he was I guess just exhausted because he caught every game, every playoff game. And but he's been bad. And I feel like that's the question. Who's going to be the guy? I forget the guy we got this last season. It starts with an Asian dude that I thought he was just kind of a seat filler right now. So we got a question mark there. I think Adolis has ran his course here. Jennifer says the Rangers definitely need to do something. You're 100% right. I think we start trading away our pitching prospects. Do we get rid of DeGrom? I mean, what can we get for him? And I think you're seeing a different Ranger team next season, but hopefully one that's better than it's been. I don't think Simeon's back next season. I think we trade away Simeon, get out of that contract. But Seager will be here as long as he wants.
They need some money. The budget's not real high right now. And I love I love Jock Peterson to death.
I hate
Only
that
guy that can turn $170 into $18 million because you gave him a player option, and he's like, "Oh, I can make $18 million to be terrible at baseball. I think I'll do that. I'm in."
Continue
And,
stealing money.
Yeah, and it's just going to continue to take money from the Texas Rangers, and that makes my heart happy.
I don't know how he I don't know how he sleeps at night.
Yeah, I do very peacefully with $18 million under his pillow.
Oh man.
So, yeah, I would sleep like a bandit. So,
and the Mavericks are fighting for the first overall pick next season that they don't have, but
how everybody has not been fired, I don't know. But they made it. They at least made part of the move and got rid of Nico, the guy that made the Skittles and airline peanut trade has now been eradicated. And we'll see where we go from there. You know, people keep saying they want Dirk Nowitzki to step in. I don't think you want to tarnish this man's name like that. You know, tie him to a franchise that is absolutely abysmal and needs to
immune to winning.
Start over. How they were in the NBA Finals a year and a half ago is beyond me.
Luka, 100%.
Yeah, but I mean, wow. I mean, just street clothes has been filling his name the right way. So, good to see that.
They're talking about Mark Cuban coming back in and taking over more, and I'm like, he was terrible when he was there. So please get us someone competent for some basketball. But well, all right, guys, we start getting to basketball talk. I think it's time to end the show. I appreciate you guys jumping in here. Bearski Films, Jennifer, and M2 Wild Ones. Appreciate you guys interacting with the show. Paul, we need to get on and do a show, man. And talk about the Bears' lucky streak there. Oh, man. Anyways, all right. That's the show tonight, guys. Come follow us on the show live. Comment in the comment section. Get on the show with us. We'll be back Friday night. Get into a little bit more next week. We really haven't talked any college football, Craig. We need to change that as well as we're getting closer to the end of the season there and who's going to be in the playoffs and all that good stuff. Texas A&M came back from 30-3. That was a good second half football game I had to watch. But we'll see where everyone stands and go from there. All right, guys. God bless, and remember,
keep it outspoken.